So I'm going to show off my Troma movie collection. Here we have the Tromasterpiece Collection. These are some of Troma's best movies. First one that was re-released was Cannibal Musical, which was filmed in 1993 and is probably one of the more known movies released by Troma. It was directed by Trey Parker, who would later do South Park. And this 2-disc special edition of the movie, 13th anniversary edition. The second movie was Redneck Zombies. Some beautiful cover art here. This movie was directed by Pericles Loons, and this is actually the first feature-length film completely shot on video. And he also did the special effects in the movie, and he went on to do the special effects for the Toxic Avenger sequels and all the way up to Sergeant Kabukiman and NYPD. The third one is The Last Horror Film, which is one of my favorite Troma movies. If you liked Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro in Maniac, this is something for you. Troma originally released this on VHS and DVD under the title Fanatic. The fourth Tromasterpiece Collection is Combat Shock, which is another one of Troma's main titles. There's also a 2-disc version of the movie, and it features the original version of the movie titled American Nightmares, which features, I think, about 10 more minutes. And this is like a really super gritty, depressing movie. Makes you want to slit your wrists raw, nightmares, like a bullet to the head. It's all pretty true. But it's also really, really good. And another great thing about this DVD, it features a bunch of short movies by Buddy Jonah that have been left kind of unreleased outside of film festivals. And it also features the only footage shot for Maniac 2 with Joe Spinell. The other movie here, this is the last Tromasterpiece movie I own, and this is Mad Dog Morgan, which is probably the best Australian exploitation movie I've seen. Might also be the best Dennis Hopper movie I've seen. This is the first time it's released uncut in North America and Europe, I think. It's only been uncut in Australia before. But if you are a fan of exploitation movies, westerns, or Dennis Hopper, you need to pick this up right away. After that, I have movies that was produced by Lloyd Kaufman, starting with The Battle of Love's Return, which is his second feature film. You can see him here. He wrote, directed, and stars in it. It was originally supposed to star some his friend who was fat, because he thought it would be funny to have a fat guy in the movie, but he eventually dropped out, so Lloyd had to fill in. And this is actually a pretty funny movie if you're into old school slapstick. And Oliver Stone has a really funny cameo in this. He was originally a part of the Troma team. And next I have the 1973 classic Sugar Cookies, which was produced by Oliver Stone and Lloyd Kaufman. This was made when Troma was known under the title Armour Films, and it features Lynn Lowry, which also in Battle of Love's Return. East End Hustle, which was directed by Frank Vital. It's a movie made in Canada, but it's part of the early years of Troma. And here I have also Acting Out. I actually met the guy who did this cover in San Diego Comic-Con, and he told me that they originally wanted to use the original 1978 cover of the movie. Too revealing, I guess. And they did this like in one day. Still don't understand why the Mr. Skin pick to click has to be larger than the Troma logo. And I got this autographed by Michael Hirsch, the vice president of Troma Entertainment, because he is an associate producer of this movie. And despite this horrific cover, this is actually a really, really good movie. This is a very funny mockumentary. Then I have the Sexy Box, which is all of their early sexy comedy movies from 1978, starting with Screamplay, all the way to 1983 with the first Turn On. Screamplay was made in 1978 and was the first movie directed by Lloyd Kaufman under the title of Samuel Weil, because he was in the Directors Guild of America. And they made this after kind of bombing horribly with their movie Big Gus, What's the Fuss? And I think Screamplay features Features The Girl Who Returned and an Easter Egg, which is Lloyd Kaufman's first movie, and features Michael Herr's acting. Their next title was Waitress. This was made in 1981. If you watch movies like Waiting and stuff like that, they're just pretty much copying off everything that this movie came originally with. And this is actually a pretty funny movie as well. Stuck on You is could be my my least favorite of the movies. They all have like these anthology kind of feels to them. And this movie is about a couple that kind of gets together, and when they're in divorce court, they kind of see that relationships through history have always kind of been tough. This one has an Easter egg, which is Big Gus, What's the Fuss, which is the Israeli-produced comedy about a detective that Kaufman and Hearst did between sugar cookies and acting out, and I also think it's pretty funny, even though they don't think so. And here we have the first Turn On. Madonna auditioned for this movie, but she got turned down by Michael Herr's. But it does feature Vincent D'Onofrio in his first movie, and apparently Stanley Kubrick watched this before he hired him for Full Metal Jacket. And this is also a pretty funny movie. It features a lot of really, really zany moments. Next up is Charles Kaufman made movies. Here we have Mother's Day. This one was shot exactly at the same time as Friday the 13th. And it's a pretty good horror movie, and it's a remake coming out now in 2011. Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters, which was shot in Indonesia or the Philippines. It's about this fighting ring of wrestlers, underground female wrestling, and this DVD features 2 versions of the movie. It was written by Charles Kaufman and features a lot of funny things, including a guy who talks like Elvis, and a lot of cool fighting scenes. Also, a pregnant lady gets kicked a lot in the stomach during the scene, and it's pretty brutal. Another Charles Kaufman comedy, When Nature Calls. This poster was originally supposed to be like a shot at Gone with the Wind. The bear actually even had a mustache and everything, but they had to change it because of legal reasons. Features possibly the only parody of Raging Bull. Here we have the 1985 classic Screamplay, which was produced by Kaufman and Hearst. This is a good satire on the Hollywood system, and also a good homage to a lot of old school horror movies, all the way from the Universal Monster movies to Hitchcock's thrillers. It's also really well made. It's all shot with like these weird camera techniques, like old school German expressionist camera techniques and stuff, and it's pretty cool. The next step is the Toxic Avenger collection. I got them all here in the Tox box. This is the Toxic Avenger. This is the 21st anniversary edition, 2-disc DVD set. This is the only one that's in widescreen, and this was released in 2005. At the Icelandic International Film Festival back in 2005, Lloyd Kaufman gave me this after I portrayed Toxie when he was introducing this movie. This one isn't actually a part of the Tox box, but I had it here because if there's a new version of the movie, I put it here, put all the other copies of them here. Here's Toxic Avenger 2, and this one's from the Tox box. And when Toxic Avenger 2 was released on DVD, the R-rated version was accidentally put instead of the unrated version, and the Tox box for the longest time was the only version to get the unrated version. This is actually a pretty decent sequel. Toxie goes to Japan, and the fight scenes are pretty good. This is actually the film debut of Michael J. White, who would later go on to play Spawn in Black Dynamite. So if you want to see him with nunchucks not fighting Toxie, then you should check this one out. The Last Temptation of Toxie, where he fights the devil, which was played by Rick Collins, who is a successful lawyer, and you can see him in the movie Bigger, Stronger, Faster. It's really good. And in the back here, you can see him dressed as the devil in Purge, Loon's the director of Redneck Zombies, getting his head impaled with a mop. And you know, if you like the second one, this one's pretty good. And when this movie was made, it was at the time when the MPA kept cutting up all the Troma movies, like they cut out every gore effects that they had. So when Toxic Avenger 2 and 3 were made, Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Herr's were kind of deliberately trying to make everything more cartoony and play down a lot of the gore. Still cut a lot of things out, and here it is, the unrated version. But because of that, they actually got a TV show out of it, produced by Moraki Wolf Svensson, just the same production company that made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So here we have the complete Toxic Crusaders, all 13 episodes, which was made after, I think it was Playmates maybe, that saw the commercial appeal to Toxie and the creations of Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers, and they also released these toys, which I think are really cool. This is actually one of my rarest collection items because the Toxic Crusaders television show is only released as a movie on VHS and DVD, and a movie is actually the first 5 episodes cut together into one movie. And also, the first 5 episodes were released on DVD, but the complete Toxic Crusaders has only been released once, and that's on the 7-disc new complete Toxic Avenger box set, which I don't own, so really happy that I got this. And this is really good. A lot of great episodes on this. The first episode, The Birth of Toxie, was written by Lloyd Kaufman and Chuck Lorre, the creator of 2.5 Men.